This video will look at how to use the product bundling system. So firstly we go to Merchant and then Products, and then once you've found your product from the search page, you click on the yellow magnifying glass. Then at the top of the page we click the Bundles button, and from here you should see a list of any bundled products, and we can add to that list by clicking the Create link. So when adding a new bundled product, the first thing we need to do is select a product to use. And we can set the quantity purchasable of this bundled product. And then we need to set the customer visibility, which can be one of two options, hidden or visible. So if it's marked as hidden, that means that this bundled product will not be referenced anywhere on the customer front end, so they won't see it on the product page or in their shopping basket, and they also won't see it on their order confirmation and tax invoices. The price for this product will be automatically added onto the core parent product's price. If we set it to visible, then we have two options, required and optional. So if it's marked as required, then the customer has no option but to include this product as part of the package that they're ordering, and they can't opt out of it. Otherwise we can set it to optional, which gives the customer the choice as to whether they want to add this to the bundle. We then have two checkboxes which are applicable only for the optional ones. Included by default, so by ticking this, that means if, for example, the bundled product is being displayed to the customer with a checkbox, then the checkbox will be ticked by default. So if they don't change the bundle, the product will automatically be included to the product bundle, and they'll have to untick to opt out of purchasing it. Otherwise, by leaving it off, then the customer will have to opt in by ticking the checkbox in order to purchase that product. And the second option is quantity fixed. By setting this, it means whatever quantity we've added here is fixed and the customer can't change it. So if they're purchasing one of this product and they select this option, they'll also get one. But by unticking this, the customer can type in however many they want. The sort order simply orders the list of bundled products on the product page for the customer. And we then have a heading. So the headings allow us to group certain bundled products together on the product interface, which might make sense if we want to give the customer different options for specific headings. So for example, if we wanted to give the customer a list of memory upgrades, we could go ahead and add a couple of different optional bundled products and link them all together under a specific heading. Then for the headings we have a couple more options. So there is multi-select. This defines whether the customer can select one or more of the products within this heading. So if it is ticked, then the customer should be presented a list of checkboxes for those options, meaning they can select as many of them as they wish. If we untick it, then all the items that fall underneath the memory heading will be displayed as radio buttons or a select box, meaning the customer can only choose one of those. And finally we have the is required flag. So this is a little bit different to the required up here, in that this is related directly to the heading. So if we were to add 3 items as optional bundled products and they were all memory products, this means that we're not forcing the customer to purchase all of them, but if we tick this box, it means the customer has to select one of those because they fall inside this heading. So it gives us the ability to make products optional, but also force them to select one of that group of products. And lastly, we have pricing. So if the product has been included as a visible optional product, then the price that the product receives will be implied from its regular pricing rules. This means depending on whether the customer ticks that box or not to include this product, the price of the overall bundle will change. If it's marked as hidden or required, then we can override what that price should be by selecting from an existing pricing structure or creating a new pricing structure from this interface. So in some instances it may make sense to offer some sort of an incentive to the customer to purchase this package with all its inclusions at a cheaper price, meaning we don't necessarily want to charge the full amount for the bundled product, and rather we might want to add a fixed price or a different margin for this product. And because in that instance we've either marked it as hidden or required, the price has already been calculated and is added on to the overall product's price before the customer has made any selections. Okay, so if we now take a look at an example, we'll see how this all comes together. So we've populated this product with a few different bundled options now under a couple of different headings, and what we'll do is take a look at from the customer front end what that looks like and what some of those features have done. So this is the product that we were looking at, and we can see there's a few options here now. So the first one we're looking at here, you'll notice that the checkbox is grayed out, and that's because this has been marked as a required product, so it can't be removed. We then have a list of memory products, and notice that these are using radio buttons, and the reason why this is using radio buttons is because we've unticked the is multi-select checkbox on the memory heading, meaning only one of these options can be selected. We then have a single accessories product, and you'll notice that this has been ticked by default, and this is because the is included by default flag was checked for this bundled product. And lastly, we've also got another optional printer product here, and you'll notice that there's no quantity field, which means that the is quantity fixed flag has been ticked, so the customer can't change that quantity. So now that we've made our selections, we'll add that to the cart, and you'll see the price is now increased based on the options that we've selected. The required product won't display to the customer here because it is included as part of the base product and the price, but if we check out, just confirm our order. So the customer will then receive an email copy of the order. We also have a link here on the page. And what you'll see here, so the first product is the parent product that everything has been bundled into. We then see the product which was marked as required, and you'll notice that it doesn't have a price because its price has been calculated with the pricing structure we selected and tacked on to the parent product. And then we have the three options that we selected.